I don't think there needs to be much of a recap happening, because you guys are still in the dungeon. Inside
Dungeon time.
the mind, the brain of a dead god floating in the astral sea. You guys have handled a couple of unpleasant monsters thus far. Booker has eaten a brain and gotten hit real good with the, like, I don't know what I am doing, there's too much to process because of the brain. I will remind all of you that you all got to take a short rest between last session and now.
Yes.
If you have not regained things you were allowed to regain on short rests, make sure that you have done so. If you have any hit die that you would like to roll and you haven't rolled already, it looks like Koya and Booker both regained some hit die. You can do so. As a warning, there's still a lot of the dungeon left, but I have also kind of marked out and scribbled out a good, like, half of what is remained to make it much smaller, much shorter. It still will probably take another session or two to get through. But if you come across a blue line, that means that you are seeing a wall. Even if you see a door beyond that, that is me saying, don't go down that way. We're trying to make this dungeon a little bit tinier for you. Unless you just desperately want to spend the next several months in this dungeon, which I don't think you do. But, with that being said, and Liliana has rejoined us. Liliana should be almost full, if not completely full. So,
Yep.
Liliana is now the walking powerhouse for the moment, because she has not had any spell slots spent. So, you all are in a chamber deep in the mines of this floating corpse. You all have just dealt with an intellect snare. And its whispers still kind of echo in the very edges of your mind. Almost unsettlingly so, as you all have taken about an hour to sit, eat a little bit, drink a little bit, catch your breath. Is there anything in particular that you all would have liked to do during this short rest? Going once, going twice. Okay. So, you all kind of have pushed through the door to this room that had the intellect snare in it. You all do still see that there's a door beyond on the other side of the similar stone, rough-hewn masonry that you have not gone through, and you also know that there's a few doors that you all have bypassed thus far, going back. What would you like to do?
I'm
Hop on the
thinking door.
Right. Are you just immediately pushing it open as everybody is getting up and
No,
stretching?
no. Just like walking over to it and posturing in front of it, like ready to open it, indicating that this is the way.
So, is this a door or like a dead god flesh door?
Yeah, you've not heard the description. So,
I have
uh,
not heard. No.
in this brain, you guys entered through the ear canal, into the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in this corpse seems to have rather unnaturally, or at least unnaturally to what all of you would know, uh, changed forms in death.
Mm.
The hallways that you walk through are largely made of very faintly glowing crystals with black, kind of slick stone here and there covering crystals. Um, it is also, I don't know if you were there for this or not, but it was established by Trixie that damaging the crystal does unleash some of the magic that is still trapped inside. And above
Okay.
table, everybody got this meta knowledge of um, essentially if you either straight up attack the walls and floors and stuff, or if you crit fail, get a 1, um, you will have to roll on class specific wild magic trees, and different things will happen. Some may be useful, some really not useful.
Mhm.
And thus far, they have encountered a mind witness. They have encountered a couple of intellect devourers, a intellect snare. So it is a lot of aberrations that seem to be around this, at least in this portion of the body. And we have largely been keeping to the same turn order, just for the sake of not having to reroll it every time you encounter something. So if you can go ahead and click on Liliana's token and go ahead and roll her initiative.
Oh, I gotta fucking get my Booker dice out.
Oh shit, same. I gotta get button dice.
I got my Liliana dice out already. Let's go.
Okay. 17. And I also need to open this up really fast. And also, the giant Koya has shrunk down to fit through these tunnels. So the quote-unquote battle mode Koya is still very tall, but is closer to normal size.
Battle mode is smaller, which is bullshit.
He's gotta be able to, maneuver. You gotta remember though that it don't feel right.
Don't feel right.
It don't feel right. It makes me giggle every time thinking about it.
This, and then I also need to open.
Put all my dice away.
Okay. So, you head towards this doorway and push it open very slowly once everybody is up and moving after you. And on the other side, it seems to be another kind of more rough-hewn chamber that is a little bit misshapen and hilly and not quite flat. And inside, you see what looks to be dozens of corpses worth of bones. Scattered all across the floor. And on the far side, actually, I should do this for you.
Locked. Okay.
On the far side, you see a tunnel carved into the the side that brings to mind some of the passages that you saw. The mind, the intellect it devours, utilizing in the previous rooms.
Do I still have the effect? Or no, never mind. Not now. I was gonna say I do have the brain effect up, but it was only for 10 minutes.
Yeah, no.
This way, I don't recall seeing any signs of intelligent life. It was like further north, if I remember correctly.
You saw signs of intelligence. I will just go ahead and say that the intelligent you saw, blah, blah, blah. Pause,
It was this guy.
rewind, English. You assume that this guy was the primary thing. There
Mhm.
was other fainter ones, some that were very, very small, and then another one that was a little bit more prominent, somewhere in between the intellect snare and the very low intelligent things. There are more to the south, yes, but you do remember there was another thing this direction somewhere. If you want to go hunt it down. I don't know if Booker would want to go hunting it down anymore.
Don't be so sure. We got time. We just finished a short rest. Booker's going to flick back his coat and reach for a thin vial of some purplish, viscous-looking tincture that he has, and he's going to kick that shit back. He is going to drink a vial of Mind Flayer blood. When consumed, gain advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects for 1 hour.
Okay.
And he will brandish 3 other little files, and he will give everyone look over his shoulder and be like, anyone else want a little bit of assurance?
I like insurance.
Do you drink blood? He'll hand you a
It's not
vial.
vegetables. Yeah. It's not vegetables, so it's fine. And down the hatch.
Well, but we'll make grabby hands.
Do you drink blood?
I do not know. However, Bun turns and points to the others. They may like some. I do not know their answer.
Booker gives one to Liliana, but doesn't give one to Button. Because if you want one, I'll give you one. But if they want one, they have to speak up.
Well, I just gonna wait to see if Micken takes one.
Micken just kind of, you already see like Micken once he realizes what it is. Like you see him like curious, head tilted, blinking, and once he's gotten a good look at it and hears blood, you see him kind of turn green around the gills. And when like Button and Booker like look in his direction, he just, I'm good. Nope.
In this case, quietly down towards Micken. This ain't a cult, is it?
No. They just like those two like finding weird things that are admittedly useful, but he's like pointing at Button and Booker.
AKA dissection team.
Right. Well, Catman, I think I'll pass on this one.
He shrugs. Suit yourself.
Does Trixie want a vial of blood?
Nope.
So Button, Liliana, and Booker all get the advantage. The other three are like, I'll pass.
What does it do again?
It gives you advantage on saves against saving throws against spells and magical effects for 1 hour.
Mm.
And for the sake of simplicity, so we don't have to like nitpick times and stuff, I'll just say that it will last for the entirety of this session. And if we end up in a situation where you initiate a fight and it spills over into next session, you will also have it for that fight. But after that fight, it will be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. And did Button take one?
I mean, they probably stopped and just looked at everyone at their various responses. And just if they didn't want one, Button would just wait for a second before they turned to Booker and just grabby hand again.
Is he gonna give it? Is Button gonna give it to someone else?
There's only one way to find out.
Booker looks at him, looks at Button, goes, "Are you gonna give it to someone, or are you gonna drink it?" He narrows his eyes.
There's two ways to find out, actually. You just ask. I don't know why I didn't think that you just fucking ask Button. I just forgot that was an
Oh
option.
shit! There's 2 ways to find out. You've bested my riddles 3.
Grabby hand, stop for a second. Fucking big ass eyes looking up at Booker. No. I will ingest.
He'll give you a file.
A file?
Yeah. I imagine it's just like a. He just gives you one.
Oh, a
use.
vial.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Vial.
Button takes it. They take a second to inspect. Imagine they remember when they helped Booker harvest this. It was on the Nautiloid.
Mm-hmm.
Button looks at it and just down the hatch. I imagine the vial is gone too.
Just eat the vial.
Booker just blinks. You owe me a glass vial. And then turns and starts to walk.
You should have seen that one coming.
I should have. That's on me.
Oh.
Fred, where'd you go?
Door.
There you are. By the laws, I have to be attached to you at all times, according to the holy laws.
As you open or start to move through this next kind of roughly hewn tunnel, Booker and Liliana, as the two in front, roll me perception checks.
Ooh-doo-doo-doo.
What's my perception? My perception is plus.
My perception roll
+6.
was a 16. My passive perception is a 19. I don't know if that matters.
And then, since I have a +6 perception, a 21.
21. Okay. as you step into this tunnel, and Booker, you have to kind of not crouch down, but lean forward a little bit, kind of tilt your head. Lily, you're kind of forced to climb down and just like cling to his back rather than sitting on his shoulder like you tend to. As you move into this tunnel and start to follow it through, you realize only a step or two in, you don't hear anything. You don't even hear your own breathing.
Liliana just kind of like leans forward, like leans her hand forward and like makes like a snapping noise with her vines.
Hello, don't mind me.
There
Okay.
is still no noise.
Oh. Hey, Booker, you hear that?
His eyes are very, very narrowed, and he just shakes his head.
Neither do I.
You guys can't hear each other talking.
Oh,
Oh.
it cuts off that noise too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Begins
Yeah.
sighing. Like points, shrugs.
Booker looks and he just opens his mouth to make a noise, and I assume nothing comes out.
Nope. You feel the vibrations in your throat. You feel the breath and wind pass through your mouth. But as soon as it meets open air, it seems to just be swallowed whole.
So somatic still works then?
Somatic, just not verbal.
Or verbal.
Yeah.
Um,
Somatic seems to work. You would assume would work. Verbal
can
does not.
can
Oh, well there goes like all of
Booker
my spell.
can Booker determine, like, can he try to use like Arcana or something to suss out if this is like an ambient effect of the room, or if this is like a spell that has been cast?
You can try. I will accept. And of course, the others, I will point out, are very confused because Booker and Liliana have just stopped like 2 feet into the hallway. But you can roll Arcana or Nature.
It's gonna be an Arcana for me, and we're going 12.
Am I able to roll as well?
Sure.
What is my Arcana is +1. My nature is +6. I will take that +6. Hello.
Hi.
Did you
Oh,
roll?
okay. I did, but I didn't hear any responses, so I was like what's going on? 18 total.
Oh,
18. Okay. So, Booker, with the Arcana, you are smart enough to know that even with the magic around you, that deafening silencing effects don't really line up with what you have figured out about the magic here. You're not sure where or how or what could be causing it, but you're fairly certain it's not like coming from the crystal itself. Liliana, as you're kind of looking around and trying to suss out what's going on, you also realize that this magic doesn't seem to be lining up with the vibes that you get off of the crystal, the vibes that seem to be inherent in this creature that you are inside of. This seems to be wholly different in some way, and you can just very faintly sense that this seems to be coming from much deeper, or not, I shouldn't say much deeper, but deeper down the tunnel. It feels like it is getting stronger when you reach out in that direction with your vines.
So there's something in the distance potentially messing with us.
Yes.
Okay. Liliana kind of just like pokes Booker to like get his attention on her, and then kind of like thumbs back the way they came.
Mm-hmm. He'll if he moves backwards, will he be able to hear things again? Or if he moves like slightly out of the way of the door, does noise come back?
As he steps back, he does immediately hear the shuffling of the people around him and the breaths coming out, the shifting of Liliana on his back. It is for both Lily and Booker, the sudden almost snap of sounds returning is just very slightly disorienting for a half second.
Well, that's troublesome.
Booker nods. Yep. That's not a good one.
I have questions.
There's no sound in that area
Booker turns.
whatsoever.
Yeah, he'll say some kind of silence in effect. Not sure what the deal is, but something in there's broadcasted quiet.
It's something further along. I couldn't tell what, but something's interfering with the sound though.
Oh,
Points to Micken. Do you have anything that doesn't require you to speak?
He just kind of like tilts his head, and you can see him thinking. A few, yeah.
Oh, you're more useful than I am, because I have nothing.
Booker will look at Micken and Butt and Trixie and be like, "Can any of you turn someone invisible?"
Yeah.
That is a no can do on my part.
Unfortunately, not. I can do a couple other things that might be helpful on the way in, but not invisibility.
I can transform you into a cloud of gas.
What? Booker, he looks kind of confused and then just kind of strokes his chin and he's like trying to weigh whether or not that is going to be helpful in the moment. He'll look over at Trixie and he'll say, "Are you real quiet on your tiptoes?"
Of course I am.
Booker will he's going to take another good couple steps back and then gesture to the door and be like, "Well, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it if you would be so kind as to scout ahead a bit. I can even give you a little hand." And if you walk close past him, he will give you like a little flick on the shoulder, not like a hard flick. And he will cast guidance on you.
And I will point out, though, as you all of you are looking at your spells and stuff and panicking, if you have concentration spells, they will last if you cast outside of this and go inside.
Gonna look at my spell list. Because I have that, I forgot.
All of you have a handful of spells. Some more than others.
The only spell that isn't verbal is push pull for button.
I've got.
It's like Dispel Magic's got 120-foot range, so if they can just
If you could dispel it and see it without being in it.
yeah. Choose one creature, magical effect. It says choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Would knowing the effect of the silence, would Button be able to cast on it?
My ruling for that would be if you knew what the source was,
Okay.
you can cast on it, but you have to know what it is first.
Okay, so Trixie Scout.
I figure if someone is quiet and stealthy, or I figure if someone is like agile and stealthy, Trixie being able to both fly and have good stealth with a little bit of guidance.
And be fast as fuck.
Yeah, would be able to sneak over there, just get a quick look around and come back.
I mean, it's not like, she's gonna make any noise.
Yeah.
It's more being unseen.
Yeah.
You just gotta
be a little sneaky
low
peeky.
profile.
When Booker kind of flicks her shoulder and casts guidance, Trixie will put one of her hands on Booker and say, "Thanks, I appreciate it," and cast guidance in return.
Toxic. Oh, you know what? I have a singular cantrip. That's nonverbal, and it's a minor illusion.
That Micken also has that, so they can do some fun illusion shit for y'all. But that's all the two of them can both do.
Button has
I will use
stick.
it to communicate.
No, silence verbal. Verbal.
Yeah, there's a lot of verbal, man.
There's only like 8 spells. I decided it was easier to check to see what isn't verbal, and there's like 10 spells.
Micken, to be straightforward with you all, Micken catapult is somatic only, so he also has catapult.
Okay.
So and
I guess
technically his wand I don't think requires verbal because it's a wand.
Yeah. Unless Trixie Scout.
Yeah.
Be our best bet here.
Trixie will go. And on top of that, she can communicate within a certain distance.
Exactly.
Yeah. Be our best, put herself to the test.
She's gonna go in.
Let's go.
She gives a 2-finger salute as she walks backwards into the silence.
You start to move into and through the tunnel. And it, at the very front of it, is very rough-hewn and almost like it has been, something natural has been clawed open a little bit wider and a little bit wider until you're able to, as you get around the next bend, stand almost fully upright. Though I imagine she still kind of hunches over just a little bit, both for the sake of being sneaky and also to keep her antennae from brushing.
Scratching.
Yeah. And
they're very delicate.
as she comes around the last corner, I'll stop you there. Don't move. Don't do anything until I'm done with my description.
Hand off mouse.
No. you see an opening, and inside you see a very similar room to what you saw before, of a circular space, and the low pool glowing faintly. And across it, you see a mind witness. However, half of it seems to be covered in scars and burns. Doesn't even seem to be floating as high as the other one did. You're almost certain that this is injured somehow, or was a very long time ago. Half of the eye stalks are even gone. And as you kind of scan the room and look over, I'm going to pull you in just a little bit so that you can see over on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
You see a scattering at first that's just shiny, and as you kind of lean a little bit further, you see gold, jewels, and you're not sure why, but at the very back of your mind, you feel a pull. There's something there that even subconsciously you want.
Mm.
No,
This is my response. See,
are
just
you
gonna inch closer, try and get a better look.
so you're just poking your head around the corner
Yes.
more, or
Very silently. Yes.
You're as silent as you
that's
can
the point.
be.
That's the point. I know.
Oh shit! Oh no, that's the joke. Oh.
roll me a stealth.
So you know how y'all were saying like, oh yeah, Trixie's great at stealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has to be. I only have a +4.
Ah, you motherfucker!
What?
I
What
thought you
are
would be
you?
proficient.
You're
I only
you're a
have a
monk.
+4.
I am not proficient in stealth, but
What
I
the
have a
fuck?
4 in Dex.
God, darned it!
Fucking. Okay. Okay.
You know what? That's on me for assuming.
I was just gonna let it go. You guys are trusting Trixie. Trixie will do it.
My stealth is +7.
Oh
Your
my
stealth is
fucking
+7?
god.
I'm proficient in it.
We thought the monk, the one that's always described as being very
The dex-
dexterous and nimble.
She's fast. She's not stealthy.
Ugh.
Yeah, you know what? That's
that
fair.
tracks. That tracks.
Next
You know
time,
what? That's on us.
next time,
We
yeah,
eat
next time
Loli.
let's ask. We ask.
See, here's the
Yeah.
thing, guys. The good thing, she may not be stealthy, but she has a movement speed of like 55. So
That's
Yeah.
true. She is
Yeah,
fast
and
as fuck,
and
boy.
and and she's gonna be really high AC
Oh.
if anything finds
Oh.
her. She'll be
What-
able to
What
escape,
happened?
right? Right?
I'm gonna take a
Right, see?
picture of this so that you guys can't say I'm fucking lying.
Or is it no? Z no. Z please.
Do it. Let
Fucking
chaos reign.
gonna cash Shillelagh.
That's a nat 20 plus 8 for a 28.
Holy
So-
fucking shit.
if I may,
Mm-hmm.
before I die,
Mm-hmm.
can Trixie just say, "Oh, hey, there's something over here," to Booker?
Oh, that's the other reason we sent Trixie, because she's psychic, haha.
Haha, and she can
That was
fly.
all part
Haha.
of the plan.
right? She's that counteracts the slightly lower stealth and the lack of impulse control, right? Right?
Yeah, you could have gotten a telepathic message out before you see 3 eye stalks turn in your direction. And
Oh,
then
shit.
slowly this thing starts to turn towards you.
Shit.
Is that also a telepathic message?
If it's allowed.
Yeah, I will allow it if you roll me a d6.
Okay.
Oh god.
A D6.
For the eye stalks.
Oh.
Some of
I'm
them are
assuming.
broken, at least.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'm feeling it. It's a good one.
You know, in Japanese mythology, 4 is actually an unlucky number.
Literally
Not
means death.
Yeah, so,
So
you know, it's probably fine.
roll me a wisdom save. It is good for you because it is a wisdom save.
Okay.
And I will do this.
And I feel like I asked this last time, but a creature within 30 feet of me does not count me, right?
Does not count you, no.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay. Let me double check this. All right. You see a ray hit you and just glance off as I'm assuming you start to very quickly back out. Or do you run ahead?
Run ahead.
And you just manage to barely get past it, and you can feel it tugging at your mind, but it doesn't quite grasp as you were not hit full on. And I'll say that you end up right about here.
Sweet.
And with that, Button, you heard a there's something in here, and then a shit.
I feel like Button and Trixie have known each other for a long time now. I feel like as soon as Button hears, or quote unquote hears, there's something in here, Button's just casting shillelagh. just starts casting, just starts walking towards the door. As soon as they hear the shit, Button just looks up at everyone. Ah, we have to go. Now, run.
Sure.
Just run.
Right,
Tap, 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 tap. Ooh. They're going to cast shillelagh.
I'll say you
As a
can
bonus
get your
action.
shillelagh out before you start running so that you can have a bonus action and an action still.
Let's fucking go. You know? What spell do I put up? What's the one spell I can fucking cast?
Pick a concentration spell, because you can concentrate on a spell
Mm-hmm.
even though you're in silence. So pick something that you don't have to think about.
It's an action for this. Let's fucking moonbeam or aura of vitality. I get the heals. Let's, cause I won't be able to healing word anyone.
Neither of
Good
those are
point.
really.
What'd you say?
Neither of those are like particularly good options. So
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're not
I
going to
guess
be
I
able
could.
to moonbeam onto someone.
No, I could summon Beast for another body. I
that's
don't
a
know,
better idea.
cause
Oh, you short rested. You have your fucking dang old mushroom stink power.
yeah, but I can just do that outside of the silence zone.
Do you use spell slots for stuff when you do that?
It's a separate resource.
Okay. I was gonna say
Mhm.
like, oh, save your spell slots for whatever mushroom stink that you need, but yeah, okay, separate thing.
It's the wild shape.
And I will be very kind to you here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use that here.
Okay, I wasn't going to.
Mhm.
I've learned my lesson. Last session. So, I mean, I guess summon beast for the extra body?
Yes.
Because
I
that's
could
like,
see either that or aura vitality, but
that's a,
I mean, yeah, we don't have a way to really heal.
yeah, that'd be the only way to heal, and that's if Button can keep the concentration up. Because Button is melee.
Remember the last fight we had against one of these things?
Mm-hmm.
How much damage did we take?
I don't remember. It was last year.
What?
It was a whole year ago.
It was last year.
Can't laugh.
It was a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Was that this one or the other one that kicked our ass?
This most
This one.
recent did the intellect snare kicked your ass. The mind witness is the very
Oh.
first thing that you came across that
I thought they
threw
were the
Booker
same
into
thing.
a pool.
Yeah.
It did not do a whole lot of damage to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like fully upfront and honest here, mind witnesses, they have the potential to do a lot of damage. It's very much based off of your saving throws when you get hit by rays. It's either a
And
lot or not a lot. Not
oh,
a
I
whole bunch in between.
remember. All of Button's fucking spells were useless against this thing.
Yeah. Then don't fret about the spells. Just save your spell slots. We have other
Yeah,
fights.
they were all fucking useless because none of them worked. Technically, the technicalities with all this shit. Yeah, the only thing I could imagine would be putting up Quillfire just do insane damage. But I feel like that's not worth it in this case, so should I just go summon Beast? Or save the spell slots?
I make a
And we'll flip
decision.
the coin.
Yeah, make your decision.
Flip a coin. Heads, Beastie. Tails, stick. Going with the stick. And so Button's going to do the bonus action Shillelagh. They don't have any other bonus actions. Just fucking. That was what? 20 feet over here. They're going to do another 10 feet there. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to use their action to dash. Because what else are they going to do? It's silent times. What? Hello. What happened to Trixie?
You just see Trixie seemingly hauling ass towards another doorway in this room where you see
Oh.
shinies on the floor.
Fucking, we shouldn't have sent Trixie. We should not have sent Trixie. We should not have sent Trixie. Is just in Button's mind.
Her one weakness.
Button's just gonna stay around the corner, I guess, but Trixie is hauling ass, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if Button continues, they'll just get trapped in its melee range. So they're just gonna stay here. You just hear the we have to go now. Tap, tap, tap.
Okay. Booker, your turn.
Okay. So Booker's going to hit everyone with up to 3 creatures. All right, fine, fuck it. Booker's gonna throw out a bless, and he's gonna hit himself, Mikin, Koya, and Liliana. And then he is going to run in.
Okay.
Choop. Oh wait, hold on. Let me measure. 1, 2. I'm counting squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. That's about as far as he can get in it, right?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You right fucking bastard.
Oh, we're gonna miss all the Booker quips because it's silenced.
You're right. You.
Is that your turn, Booker?
Do I have a bonus action? Ooh, yes. I can't attack. I will use a bonus action to mark this fucking this piece of shit with my spell sight, or not my spell sight, my what's it called? My baleful mark. So I know the location of it. The mark has disadvantage to maintain concentration when I damage it. And if I have to make a save based on an ability that it uses against me, I get 1d6 to my saving throw.
Okay. Trixie. It's your turn.
And I'm gonna attack. Let's get this thing.
Let's get this bread, kings.
Let's get these jewels.
Where is my weapon? Here's my weapon.
I have a horror story for the Magic players here. You have counted your EDH deck. There are 98 cards. You know exactly what card you want to put in to bring it up to 99. But you used art sleeves. And you need to find the art sleeve for it. I'm suffering.
Meteor!
Man. Just get more art sleeves.
They don't sell Shadows over Innistrad Avacyn sleeves anymore.
Okay, what are we doing here? 23 will definitely hit. 21 will also definitely hit. That will not hit.
And where's my ruler?
Ruler, I hardly know her.
This is so based. I opened up another deck box and I used that art sleeve for the commander. Based.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. That is your turn. Koya. Your friends have disappeared down this tunnel very quickly.
Alright, Koya's gonna look to Micken and Liliana. Sigh, draw out the glaive, and run in after them.
There's a very similar sigh coming from Micken. I would advise all of you do the same thing Joe did of just count the squares for your sanity. Each square is 5 feet.
Yay.
So that is one movement. You can use your action if you would like, Charlie, to dash to do double movement.
Okay, we'll do
One more time.
and
Speedy Gonzalez over here.
20, 30 right here.
Nope, nope.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a bonus action you would like to do, you can do it now.
I think I am good for now.
Lily, it is your turn.
I'll stay here. You guys go on.
Ma'am,
Let me know when the sound comes back on.
the help action does exist.
I will use the help action on Micken. Go get him, buddy.
Pick it just
Catapult time.
blinks.
Liliana really has no affection for anyone in this group, huh?
She has plenty of affection, but self-preservation is
Not
winning
enough.
out right now.
Not
She
enough
is-
affection.
She's a pure
She is more
carnivore. She
interested
sees
in
them all as
keeping her
dinner.
own skin than saving any of her friends.
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna clap at them very angrily. Oh wait, no, I can't even clap at them angrily.
I don't know, man. Get creative.
Start
Think
to
outside the
negotiate.
box.
Yeah, I'll negotiate. I'll sign language this thing. Genius.
I meant negotiate with the Z.
Z, what do you have for me? What can I do here?
I think this is the opposite of negotiation.
This is begging.
Pleading. Okay, you know what? Micken has catapult. I will give him rocks on his turn, and then he can just launch them at people.
So I was like, don't you have like the fucking like scent stuff that is innate to your being a plant?
I don't think the calm emotion spell is gonna do anything here.
Or isn't there 3 of them? 3 or 4 of them? I thought I
There's
had
3
multiple.
of them, but they're all emotion like based. Yeah, let me see. I can do charm person, calm emotions, or I guess disorienting aroma, but I also don't think that'll be effective here because they just can't speak or vocalize.
If you're wanting to ride on Micken's shoulder, you can. You can do help actions. We're gonna need to get you a set of little knives. You have fucking vines. Whip it at people.
Little leaf knives.
Or like a wand or something, but I'm not gonna take Micken's one because that's his one.
Yeah, that would be the fast track for Micken beating your ass. Want to see an angry Micken try to take his wand that his wife gave him. So,
But like I genuinely have nothing.
said you're providing the help action to Micken. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Go get him.
Go get him.
50. You should have just enough. Yes. Well, not technically wife, fiance, but yes, Micken does have a fiance.
That's why he must be protected at all costs.
Let me see. What is the distance here? Well, take a couple of rocks and seeds from Liliana. She peeks around the corner. And why can I not find... Oh, they've fucking changed what measuring tool looks like. Okay.
Yeah, they actually added some cool functionality to it.
I have not inspected it at length to know what anything is right now. But he will use first level catapult.
Damn.
Ba- And let's see what your dex is. Well, that's a nat 1 from this thing. So, all things balanced as they should be. A nat 20 and then a nat 1. Which will actually trigger something here. Let me see.
Oh no. Even on saves?
It's good for you. You see this as the rocks and seeds go shooting across the room at this thing and start to pelt the mind witness in the face. You can see the main eye kind of squint and close, trying to shield itself, and it kind of stumbles back, and you see it smack into the pool in front of it with one of its tentacles as it tries to escape the onslaught, and in doing so, some of the liquid sloshes out, and you can see it freeze almost instantly, and all of its eyes shift from all of you down to the pool in concern, as it almost seems to be trying to double check if anything fell out. And it is its turn, and since it is distracted and concerned with the pool in front of it, it will only be able to do one thing this turn. It will fire one singular ray rather than multiple. So, let me see here. 2, 3. It only really has 3 targets at the moment. Booker, wouldn't you know that you're lucky number 3? Roll me a d6, my friend.
6, 4.
4. Okay, wisdom save.
Is this a spell or magical ability?
This particular one does not count as spell or magical ability.
Fucking useless mind flayer blood.
It will be useful in some of the other things that you might come across.
But
The mind witness, unfortunately, it is not.
What is it? What is it categorized as?
useless mind flayer blood, useless fucking magic class ability. That's a
Wait, what are you
What?
rolling?
a wisdom save.
I help. I have a reaction. I can do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
You have a reaction?
Yes.
Let's go.
Finally.
How long have you been wanting to use this?
Since the last, like, 2 fights.
Can you use it without noise?
It's a cleric thing.
Wisdom saving 3, you can use your reaction. Yeah, all it says is you have to be able to see them.
Line of sight. Boom. There it is.
Get that advantage.
would have been nice to have advantage from the preparation. Advantage probably saved me though. That is an 18.
That'll pass.
Thank Christ.
You also, much like Trixie before, see a ray and eye stalk lift and shoot over Koya's head down the tunnel at you, and you have just enough time to kind of dodge to the side, pressing yourself into the corner and out of the direct hit. You feel it kind of glance off and feel the tendrils try to reach out and scratch at your mind, but it doesn't quite find grasp. Button, it is your turn.
Oh boy, oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this count as flanking yet?
Yes.
Cool. Bonk. Button is a simple creature. They can do one thing and one thing only in this situation, and that is smack this thing for trying to hurt their friends.
Bonk away.
This is going to be a fuck math. 25.
That'll hit.
Where's my D8? Where's my D8? There it is. Found it. That's going to be a 12. Bludgeoning.
Goddamn.
Get bonked. I don't think they got a bonus action, so that's it. That's all, folks.
Okay, Booker, you're up.
Okay.
Oh wait, I could have crit fished.
Go
What,
ahead.
Amy?
I was like, oh wait, if I'm flanking, I could have crit fished, right?
Yes, technically. Roll again.
Nope. Continue.
Uh-huh. Booker. Okay, so I can't really use Spell Strike because I still have to effectively cast the spell. That's
Yes.
fine. That's fine.
And this thing is already fucked up from some old injury. It doesn't look like it's doing very well with this sudden violence pointed at it.
Huh. You know, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's fucking dumb. Booker's gonna run up. 2, 3, 4. Can he squeeze through here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. 5.
Sup, Trixie.
Seeing the gems doesn't fuck with Booker, does it? Does it make him? Does it fuck with Booker?
Not any more than seeing gems would fuck with Booker normally.
All right, fair.
And do remember that
5.
this is actually a pool in the middle of the room.
Yes. Can he reach it if he stands? Can he reach the creature with his knives if he stands on the lip of this pool?
Yes. However, if you're wanting to stand on the edge of that pool, I will require a dex save or an acrobatic save.
Oh, okay. Actually, if you will permit me, GM, can Booker, rather than run all the way around it that way, can he run to it from his starting position? Just run up here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I for some reason was thinking that it was like in the middle of the pool, but it's slightly down to the side. So he's gonna go up here, and he's gonna whip out the Beast Claw Knuckles. My weapons. Okay. he is going to attack twice with the Beast Claw Knuckles for he didn't get hit at all, right?
No.
Okay, so Bless is still up. That's a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Nice. And the Beast Claw Knuckles for peanuts damage. 6 damage. Second attack is going to be really bad. 6, 8. 11.
Will miss.
Yeah, that's fair. So he'll get the one hit in, and then he'll use a bonus action to do the extra strike with the Nathalgu Claw,
Okay.
and just go for one more little dagger swipe, and it's an 11 again. Rip. That's fine.
Doesn't he have bless? And also advantage? Because flanked?
He's not true flanked right now.
He's not flanking.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not flanking with anyone, but yeah, with bless it is an 11 because he has a Oh, sorry, it's not an 11. It's a 14, which I imagine is still too low.
Yeah. Barely,
Yeah.
but yes.
Yeah. So he is swiping at it, going hard. So from the water that spilled out, is there goop? Or not goop? Are there tadpoles? Is this tadpole water?
You kind of cast a very quick glance down under this creature as you're swiping at it, and you do see the uncomfortably familiar little black creatures swimming in. However, you see there seems to be far fewer in this pool than in the other.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, good to know. That is Booker's whole turn.
Trixie?
I attack. I probably should move though. A little closer. For flank.
That will hit.
I just realized I did not use my second attack this turn. Damn it.
It's okay, use it now.
Yeah.
That will hit.
And once more with feeling.
How do you want to do it?
Hey!
Hey.
Let's just kind of punch, grabbing some of the tentacles. I know it's not the same regular actions, but kind of grab some of the tentacles, and then with the other 2 arms, she swings the meteor hammer and kind of does a little loop and pop. Just pop.
Bop or
pull.
pop?
Pop. Pull and
Mhm.
squeeze.
Jesus Christ.
So you just Booker, Koya, Button, you're over here slashing at this thing and trying to hit it. And all of a sudden you just see this meteor hammer swing out, barely missing all of you as it wraps around this mind flayer. And suddenly it's in pieces
Yeah.
as it falls into the pool below, mixing rather unpleasantly with the slightly greenish water
Ooh.
and the tadpoles within.
Yeah, brain balloon. That's out of character. Wait, did it fall in the pool, you said?
Yes.
Yep.
Motherfucker!
I was
That's
waiting
in
for that.
character.
Do we just does the silence gone, or do we just see Booker just mouth motherfucker?
All you see is Booker mouthing motherfucker.
All right, well, fuck it. As soon as it sinks down, Button just fucking sets up shop. Fucking poison time. Did it work last time? We don't know, but it's better than doing nothing. Just...
So,
Hmm.
I mean, if you really want to, you can go fishing for it, Booker.
No, he's not gonna go fishing for it, but he is gonna keep a fucking eye on Trixie.
Cinching over there.
Fucking sneaky. You ain't slick.
What are
You
you talking
fucking
about?
6.5 foot tall
She is
bug.
silent as she is more silent than a mouse right now.
So you move towards the pile and get closer and better looks at it. Again, you see gold and silver and copper and jewels. No jewelry that you see immediately, but actually uncut or only early in the processed gems. And roll me a history check as you're walking over.
History, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're not 100% sure. You do know that a lot of these pieces of gold, as you kind of glance over them, you don't recognize the print on it. You don't know where they're from, but it's certainly not anywhere you've ever been or even seen coins from. And as you step through the doorway into the room beyond, you see yet more and more scattering of gems and other precious items. And as you look up and scan around the room, you see two things simultaneously. First, in the far corner, you see carved from slick, almost mirror-like black stone what looks to be an idol of some sort. Long and skinny, it's about 2 feet tall, leaned up against the wall. And as you kind of tilt your head and look at it a little bit closer, it's almost skeletal in nature. It's with a stylized skull at the very top and arms crossed over the chest, almost like somebody being put to rest. And at the same moment that you see this, you see sitting at the very edge of this pile of precious jewels and gold and silver pieces, shining brighter than anything in this pile. What looks to be a silver pendant half tucked underneath a massive ruby. And you feel that tug again.
Please. Thank you.
Now hold on one second. Hold your horses.
No. Booker already did his thing. It's time for Trixie to do her thing.
He did his thing.
I'm sorry. I believe he ate a brain or something.
She's got you
Booker.
there.
Yeah, Booker has
Yeah.
done a few impulsive
Yeah,
things thus far.
Yeah, Booker, you don't got room to talk, my dude.
Listen, I
No.
am selfish and I want to do all the bad shit.
I mean, there is a statue over there if you let Trixie get her thing.
Yeah, if he goes and follows Trixie, he will also see the statue, though he is less concerned about the amulet.
Yeah, the statue seems much more Booker vibe. It's edgy.
I thought the amulet was on the statue.
No, the
No.
amulet's at the edge of the pile of gold.
Yeah,
Oh,
two
I
separate
missed it.
things.
Two separate things.
Take the money and or take the necklace and the ruby. And I guess let's take some money. Fuck it, why not?
As you reach out and pick up the amulet, you feel cold rush up your arm. Not unpleasant, but still enough to kind of set your hair on end, like a chilly breeze in the middle of the night. As you turn the amulet over, it seems to be made of one solid piece of silver, and on its face, inlaid in opal, is a stylized half moon. You feel a not wholly unfamiliar or unpleasant hand very lightly placed on your shoulder.
Trixie, kind of recognizing it, tilts her head slightly to look at her shoulder.
You don't see anything, though you do still feel that very slight weight.
She holds the amulet and pulls it close to her chest and then puts it on.
Roll me a d100.
Instant death. Instant death. Instant death.
So you put it on and it settles on your chest. That cool sensation that ran up your arm suddenly seems to go across your entire body. And even though you still can't hear your own breath, you can't hear the jewels in gold crunching under your feet, you hear the very edges of a whisper. But it's so faint and so far, you're not truly sure what it's saying, though it sounds like a question. And then the hand leaves, though that cool sensation remains. The only presence that you feel behind you now is the all too familiar approach of Booker.
I mean, she just picked up some loot. Booker ain't gonna begrudge her loot. He's a pirate.
Hmm.
He's gonna scoop up some gems and stuff them in his pockets.
Trixie will turn to Booker and kind of like, wait, she doesn't need to do this. She's gonna do it anyways. She'll point at him and her, and then point at the statue, and then
Booker's
like do the question, the two hands up at the side question.
Oh, like the shrug?
Yeah, she's
Booker,
trying to say, "What do you want to do? What should we do?"
Booker, he looks at Trixie, and he'll look back out into the room at Button, who is poisoning the tad pond. And looks back at Trixie and then looks at the statue, and he's just gonna walk straight up to the statue.
Okay. So while you are doing that, let me get this done really fast. You said Trixie picked up some gold and some gems?
Yeah, and definitely that big ruby.
Okay. How... Is she just, like, stuffing her pockets, or is she being particular?
Should be particular. Anything particularly shiny or reminiscent of her deity, I guess.
Roll me... Roll me a d6 really fast. 3. Okay. So you've picked up a massive ruby worth 250 gold.
Nice.
You also pick up a little... You're sure it used to be a figurine of some sort, though it looks like the bottom half of it has cracked off. Little chipped, broken jade figurine, also worth 200 gold. I say specifically remind you of the goddess. Let me see. A small, by standards of the other gems, but deep blue and glowing with cracks of gold lapis lazuli. Worth 100 gold. And a very pale yellow amber like a harvest moon. Worth 150 gold. As well as 300 gold and silver.
Hey.
300 gold worth of various coins.
And can you describe that idol again real quick? I'm
The
writing it
jade
in the
figure?
inventory. It was a jade figure. Okay.
Mhm.
That's partially broken.
Yes. Looks like the bottom has been kind of chipped off, but it looks like it was not necessarily a goddess, but was a little jade figurine of some sort of female piece of art. See long hair and graceful arms and the beginnings of a figure being carved out, but the bottom half seems to have been broken off.
And how much was that worth?
200.
Okay, thank you.
Booker, as you approach this idol, make an Arcana check. Or a religion check.
Oh. Okay. 25 on Arcana.
So you laid eyes on this thing. The moment you entered this room, you knew this was something of power. As you get closer, it is thick in the air, the magic rolling in waves off of it. This is the source of the silence and deafening spell.
Do I recognize the figure?
Do you crouch down in front of it or do you pick it up? As
Oh.
you're getting a closer look.
I imagine one than the other. Like he'll crouch down and then reach out and grab it.
So you kind of crouch down in front of it and squint. You can see some of the faint carvings, not unlike the carvings you saw outside of the intellect snare room in deep speech. And it's not too hard to put two and two together that this is either an image of this god or something used to worship him.
Is there an obvious way to disable or disentangle the silence effect?
You would know that a dispel magic has a chance, if they're able to target it. With a 25, you would also have a guess that messing up the runes on the bottom would cancel it.
Okay. Booker is gonna try first the runes on the bottom.
How are you trying to mess up these carved runes?
Yeah, he's gonna try to keep it very precise and simple. He's gonna want to do like one. He'll flip it over, take out a knife, and he wants to scratch one rune so that it no longer is the correct rune to do the silence spell, right? Like minimal tampering so that he knows what he did so he can look at it later.
What?
Okay.
You weren't able to read it? Like, is
I
it a
assume
language?
not.
Is it a language maybe we know?
It is a language that Booker would know. It's deep speech. It's a spell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's an enchantment spell in here to like enchant this object with a spell. So,
Okay.
all right. Let's see. You're trying to be careful. Roll me a d20. Actually, no. Roll me another Arcana check.
Arcana check. That is really bad. How about a 13?
So you flip it over and start trying to scratch out this single rune. Feel your blade sink into this almost mirror-like stone. Start to scratch. The first scratch or two, nothing seems to happen, but as you continue to scratch through this rune, first, the rune under it starts to glow very, very faintly. Then the scratch itself begins to glow, though at the same time, you can feel the air around you start to thin a bit. The magic of this idol, of this statue, starting to wane as you damage it. Do you continue?
Yeah.
Roll me a D100.
Yes. Let me get the fucking big ass dice. Shout out to Iris for the bloody D100. 55.
Okay. Let me see. Where the fuck did I stash this? I know I stashed it somewhere. My PDF is being an asshole. Give me a second.
Hmm.
Okay. You can see, so that would only be Trixie. Okay. As you continue to scratch through, you see this rune glow brighter and brighter and brighter and then flash. As suddenly, everybody you can hear again. In just a sudden rush of noise. It's not noisy. The grinding of plant and other little bits and bobs to make the poison from Button's poisoner's kit. Micken nervously tapping his foot as he is kind of looking between Micken and Liliana and looking to the door, which Trixie and Booker disappeared in back and forth. And in the same instance that the sound returns, Booker, a lash of magic races up your arms and jumps, almost like static electricity, to Trixie. And
What?
Trixie, for the next half hour, your movements are suddenly restricted and not fluid anymore. They're almost robotic in a way. However, you gain the benefits of Arcane Jolt from the Artificer Battlesmith.
I have no clue what that does.
It is a 9th level ability. I will post it here. It leaves your fingers and hands tingling with magic, Booker. So much so that your very hands still seem to pulse with the magic, and the dagger in them glows very faintly. If they do not already count as magic, they will count as magic for the next half hour with a +1.
Wait, my what counts as magic for the next half hour?
The dagger that you currently have in your hand, so you must
Oh.
pick which one you are using.
It was the beast claw. No? Booker look over at Trixie. And then there's like a pause. Fuck. Sound is back.
Just in time for me to ask, what did you do? What? Ugh, this feels so weird. Why me?
Booker's just gonna turn the statue over and around in his hands. Not sure why you bought the statues off. At least it's mostly off. He's gonna put it in his pack. Assuming it can fit.
Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be poking out a little bit. Have a little
That's fine.
weird skull head poking out the top, but
Research thing for later.
You see, Micken is still standing there in the main room, kind of nervously tapping his foot. Pauses for a second once he realizes that he can hear again. Looks down, looks up, looks over to Button, who's still working. Looks at Koya, grabs Koya's sleeve, and will drag over and just like call into the room. Both of you are okay, right?
Trixie is doing like
It's doing the robot.
stretches. She's doing stretches with her arms, like the like putting your arms above your head and pulling them to the sides in kind of like a front facing muscle thing. She's like trying to stretch, like, this is weird. She just has like a look of, I don't like this on her face.
Booker will look at Micken and nod and be like, all good. Just found the thing that turns off the noise, and he taps his bag.
Apparently we're carrying it with us.
Research.
Just a little bit of a squint, but he doesn't say anything. Koya, roll me a perception really fast.
Booker will nod to Micken while he's waiting and be like, feel free to fill your pockets, and he's gonna start grabbing more fistfuls of stuff.
As you kind of take in this pile of precious metals and gems scattered on the floor in front of you. Most of it, I'm assuming Koya is not very much of one for shinies. Because most of it doesn't particularly interest you. However, you do see a couple feet into the room a single piece of sapphire that, even with just the dim flickering light from Micken's torch, seems to kind of dance and glow almost like water. And it reminds you very much of your friend from the lakes. Almost uncomfortably so.
Oof.
What? Why?
What?
Why? What?
Koya will approach the gem, reach down. Any vibes off of it?
You can roll me in Arcana or in Nature. So you kind of approach it, and I imagine kind of crouch down to get a little bit of a better look at it. It still swims like water and very much reminds you of how your friend used to talk about what the water looks like from below. And there is just the very faintest of magic that seems to be locked inside, though it's not emitting it.
If the others are still busy, Koya will sit down with the gem in their hands and cast Identify.
Okay. So you're working on that. Come back to you in just a moment. So Booker is stuffing his pockets.
Yes.
What is he going for? How is he stuffing his pockets, or is it indiscriminate?
Indiscriminate, or well, I mean,
Look at the
as
gift.
indiscriminate, but like if he sees something that he knows is like, ooh, that's worth a lot, he's gonna make room in his pocket for that thing.
Okay, let me see here. Roll me a d6.
It's a D6. 5.
So Booker, though he likes gems and shinies, he's a little bit more materialistic. So he will pick up a little bit more gold than he does gems. Ends up with 450 gold.
Hail yeah.
And from the gems, let me see here. You find a yet uncut but rather large diamond worth 200 gold.
200 gold diamond. Okay.
And you also find, what's his favorite color?
Booker's?
Yes.
It would be like probably like a very, very dark red.
Perfect, because you also find a 300 gold deep mahogany garnet. And Micken will also, he's told to stuff his pockets. He's not going for any of the gems, but he will pick up about 200 worth gold for his next adventure in adding to his spellbook. And Koya, as you sit there and focus on this sapphire and reach out with the traces of magic that you have, describe to me how Koya focuses on this gem and tries to reach out to it and discover what it is.
I imagine it's a bit like how she would read the trees. Just looking for the patterns in it. Almost getting lost in it. To the point where it almost looks like she's rocking with the waves that she's seeing.
As you focus on this sapphire and almost get lost in the waves of light coming from it, both seeming to mirror the flickering of Micken's torch, but also not wholly following their pattern. You realize that this is not just a gem. The best description you can come to for it is it's a core. It is the center for something elemental in nature. Not unlike Mari. And you realize that this, for simplicity's description, is essentially a seed for a nature spirit. Given the correct conditions, they might be born or reborn.
I think if Koya gets the hint that this is Mari, they're gonna choke up, freeze, and breathing quickens. They'll look up and towards Micken, and Micken will see that Koya's. They've got tears streaming down their cheeks.
As you look up, Micken has been crouched down, is like kind of picking through coins, trying to find essentially what he would assume to be like the largest piece of gold that he can find. Because he wants to get money, but at the same time, he doesn't want to be weighed down by money either. So he's trying to be efficient about it rather than just stuffing shit into a bag. And feels you looking at him and kind of looks up and freezes in spot as he sees you crying. Are you okay?
I think I'd like to get out of here now.
Kind of opens his mouth, looks towards Booker and Trixie across the room, closes his mouth. Okay, yep. Back to, he like stands up, turns around, points at the tadpole pool, frowns, shakes his head. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily want to go back to that either, but that is the only other way. Come on. Booker, Trixie, I think we need to go.
What? What's up? What's going on? Booker's gonna like
Everything okay?
snap out of it and start to walk over.
Now, real quick, do any other gems, I guess, give off the same vibe that this one does?
me another nature check at advantage since you know what you are looking for. There are others that seem to flicker in the light. One or two that do catch your eye, but you can't be certain. You can try to just grab them in case, but there was a special connection to this one. Charlie?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm here. If it's mostly just this one giving or that connection, Koya will squeeze it to their chest and then put it in their pocket. I don't think it's a good idea for us to stay here any longer.
Booker will just look Koya up and down. What makes you in such a rush to get out? We just found the mother lode, and he'll gesture to the floor. Who knows what other goodies are hiding around some corner here?
We did come here to treasure hunt.
Booker is saying this with, like, half-hearted conviction, mostly just to kind of test where Koya's at.
There are things in I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I'm not comfortable with these things being taken and seen as treasures. I mean, they are treasures, but not in the way that you're thinking.
What are they then? Trixie's a little more curious now.
Back home, back in Bodhi, people like me, nature spirits, we're born from, I guess, things like these. You see gems, these are seeds. And I feel it in my heart that these are my people.
DM.
Hmm.
Or rather, first Koya, you're still holding that big sapphire, right?
It has been pocketed.
It's been pocketed? Okay. Hmm. Booker just kind of looks around at the floor, and he is really trying to keep a very neutral expression. But you can tell, like, when he is thinking, because whenever he starts thinking, he like narrows his eyes just a little bit, and he typically is looking at the thing he is thinking about when he narrows his eyes. And he looks at the gems and kind of squints, and he looks and kind of follows a trail of them over to Koya's feet, and then squints again at Koya. And he'll nod once. Sure. We won't take no more treasure. Hmm.
Wait, pause. Can I get a quick reminder? Are we supposed to like destroy this place when we're done with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, according to, it has been put to Booker by Celestian that there is something in or on this corpse that will make him stronger. Or somehow benefit him in the path that he is walking on. Button has been told that they should find some way to make this corpse unaccessible, whether that be destroyed or some other means.
Mm. Okay. Alright. With that button, just watching before there's a little tug on Koya.
Koya will look down.
Hello. What do we do with these? If we leave them here, they will either stay here forever, like this, or be destroyed. Therefore, if that is not the desirable outcome, we need to do something now.
Right.
And I will
Just
pause you for a second, Charlie, to
Mhm.
give you some context. Not all beings from your planet go into these kind of seed states, these cores. Some do. It is dependent on what type of spirit they are.
I guess round them up. And we'll see which ones are seeds. They're not things.
Nod from Button.
Booker will take the statue out and show it to Koya. Say, you don't happen to recognize this fella, do you?
Miss God, do I recognize it?
It was who you were fighting.
I know we were given
Go ahead.
Bless you.
Thank
I know
you.
we were given direction to fight, but does Koya know who it is?
As in like the name?
In general, yeah.
Yeah. Your god who was granting you power at the time would have told you of Millefleur. How innately opposed they were to them, both to God and to the nature of your people.
when we were escaping, a few of our fleet got separated. And it was by God that we're on now. A few of us were informed of who it was. He was a being of evil and the undead. And as long as it was alive, we would be unable to reunite with the rest of our fleet. So we did what we had to do. Hence why I'm stranded here.
Booker's gonna put the little statue back in his bag. Hmm. He'll do a quick like turn around in place, and then look at all the gems, and casually wave a hand and say, "Well, round them up. We'll figure out which ones are seeds and which ones are just gems." And can he use a charge of his spell site to use detect magic and primarily look at the gems? I know last time it just kind of blinded him. Is it just the same?
No. If you're looking primarily at you're still going to have a lot of like background brightness. But if you're trying to focus, you'll be able to pick out a few.
Oh. Will the what is it? The fucking glasses, the copper and green spectacles. If Booker has those, will that help? Oh wait, never. It's difference between gold and fool's gold can roughly rate the value of gems and precious metals on site. Would that help him filter?
It would help him filter a little bit, because it would essentially, these would be of higher value because they are innately magic.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you see a 6,000 like gold, like garnet,
Mm-hmm.
and a 6,000 gold spirit seed. They're both just going to be like, okay, that's 6,000 gold.
Okay. Never mind. Button will provide extra bag before they go back to their poison.
Okay. We see here. Koya, roll me a d20 really fast. Okay. So, using your detect magic, Booker, I'm assuming you're still using that, yes?
Yes.
Using your detect magic, between you and Koya, you're able to kind of sift through and pick out a handful of gems that you're not fully sure if they're just magical in nature because they happen to have just a little trace amount of magic in general, or if they are something more, because it's a little hard to differentiate fully. But you do pick out a handful of magic gems that Koya, as you're like looking at the ones he is showing you, they have interesting and strange flickers in them that you'll have to sit and decipher a little bit more, and you end up with about 7 gems in total that seem to be the most likely candidates of being seeds. And Booker, roll me a D100.
Mhm. Uh, 36.
36. Okay. Roll me one more D100.
Ooh. Instant death. Instant death. Bruh. 1. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Instant death.
Using your detect magic, you also find one additional gem that, while the others are rough and kind of misshapen, even the sapphire Koya picked up and pocketed, this one was very clearly carved and polished and crafted. It's a dark ruby, flickering with just faint, almost silvery light inside, and with detect magic, you know there's necromancy in this.
Ooh. Hmm. Booker's gonna just subtly pocket that one.
Alright, Koya has 7 gems plus the sapphire to examine later. Sit with. Liana, Button, are the two of you doing anything in particular aside from poisoning the well?
I mean, once Button is done, they would want to join the search. You know, they'd like to be of help. That is when they are happiest.
You are also able to successfully poison this well, though you roll me a nature check, Button.
Ah. 15.
Doesn't take much as you're kind of glancing over the edge of the well as you're working. This tadpole pool seems to be sickly already. You're not sure why, but there's fewer tadpole inside, and they don't seem to be moving as quickly or as freely as the other one.
Noted down for later.
That would be a perception check versus a sleight of hand check.
Oh, poison deposited. Time to join the group in looking at gems. Being helpful. Pat, pat, pat to Koya.
Joe, roll a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. What is my sleight of hand?
A perception check from Trixie.
That is a 13. Haha.
So you do notice. Button and Liliana, what are you guys looking for as you're moving into this room and looking over the piles, are you trying to help Koya, or are you just looking?
The answer is yes. This
I'm
is all
looking.
very neat to Button.
Yeah.
All these are very interesting. They don't really care for the shinies in particular. I
And
feel
I
like
am
Button
looking for
halfway doesn't understand money.
What'd you say, Piper?
general goodies for me as well.
Okay. Are
We'll
you
try and help as well.
both of you either roll me Arcana or Nature?
That will 100% be nature for me.
Both are
That's
the
not
same.
that's
Oh, it's gonna be
19.
16.
19 plus 6, so
25?
25.
25 and a 16. Okay. So, to add to the pile, Koya, between Button and Liliana's help, you find an additional 3, for a total of 10 gems to look at, or 11 if you count the sapphire. Look at your helpful friends. Are Button and Liliana pocketing gold as well?
Absolutely.
As much as I want to say yes, I really don't think Button would think to.
Roll me a d6, Piper.
D6. D6. D6.
Button, you should get your share too.
Where's my D6? Is this no, here's my
You
D6.
never know when you'll need it.
That is a 6.
Okay, you get a total of 500 gold, Liliana.
Oh.
Get your share, Button. Button picks up a single piece of gold.
Looks at Trixie. Did they do good?
Thumbs up from the bottom hands.
Pick up gold. Picking up gold is good, apparently. Let's go.
You got an AI. You got to train the AI to like accumulating wealth.
Jesus.
I can't believe you would do something like compare Button to AI.
I hate that you're not technically wrong.
They're much cuter, much more beneficent, and they don't cause a massive water deficit and energy spike every time they're in use.
See, the funny thing is that I also feel like Button, if they were around fucking much worse people, there would be a much stronger comparison to have had.
Button does have morals.
There's a cursed, not fully aware of things Button who was picked up by Crypto Bros.
Oh no. Oh god.
I got to get more stocks, okay?
Anyway, they will collect gold at Trixie, reminding them that things cost money.
Okay, D6.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
They kind of keep forgetting that part because they don't really need things.
That's why Button and Whist are always in the same corner.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 5.
Okay, you also get 450 gold.
Thank you, Charlie. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so y'all have gathered gold, gathered some gems. Koya, I am imagining, is very, very carefully tucking away each gem that might be important.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is this
Thank y'all for
Go ahead.
yes. Thank y'all for taking the time to do this. It It means a lot.
Hug.
Are you thanking the players or the characters?
Yes. The characters.
You're welcome. Booker says nothing.
Button. Tap, 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 tap. Hug leg. Let's go. Pat,
No
pat, pat
problem.
knee.
You're part of the crew now.
Well, if these are really what you say they are, it would be actually very, very wrong of us to not take a few minutes. But I do think we probably need to keep venturing on.
This
Kinda
is a
looks
dead
around.
end room, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Also, Button points to the pool. They were already sick. So, the poison should work. Hopefully.
Booker's gonna look in the pool. Is there anything noteworthy that he can see in the little gross out tadpool?
Not really. Not between the poison and the blood and viscera of the mind witness.
Hmm.
It's
Do not
gross.
Do not touch. You will perish.
Booker just waves a hand dismissively at Button, just like, yeah, I fucking know. And he is going to look at the dead mind witness. Does it seem to be at all targeted by the little tadpoles?
No.
Okay. Very well. Booker will walk around the pool, and I guess there's nothing else here. We got all the gems and stuffed our pockets full of shit.
Would you like me to fast travel you back to the most recent unexplored door?
Yes, back
Fast
to
travel.
the fork.
Come back here, Button.
They had to mark the chalk. This is a dead end.
Okay, hold on. I gotta move the mind witness out of the way because it keeps trying to take the mind witness with you.
Bring the corpse with us.
I also have to bring this out of the way. There we go. So the most recent, we'll put you all here so that you can sort yourself out through the left-hand door, down. So this way.
Here we go. Shoop. Gonna press an ear to the door, just to see if there's any. Can he hear anything?
Yes.
What it
I
sound like?
certainly can. Let me get this in. Inside, at first, there seems to be silence, and it's just long enough that you start to kind of relax, like, okay, there's nothing inside. Then you hear first what seems to be a breeze, movement of air. brushing past, even leaking out a little bit around the kind of roughshod door that you're in front of. And as you're listening, you realize that's not just a breeze. It sounds like a long, ragged inhale, and then silence again.
Oh boy. Booker just takes a second and looks at the door and kind of squints as he's thinking. Can we quietly open the door? Just peek?
You can try to. Button, return to your position. You can try to, however, it will be a stealth roll.
Mechanically, I know Liliana is better.
Is it my turn? Am I going in?
Just to crack the door and take a peek, not move in. But it feels weird to be like, Liliana, you're better at quietly opening doors.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess Booker will go for it, unless the table consensus is no.
I mean, I could imagine that you could flavor it that Booker just slowly cracks and has Liliana do the peeking because she's smaller, therefore needs less space to peek.
Yeah, that works.
That's good flavor. There we go.
Is that good, DM?
That's a good
Sure.
flavor.
A.
So, stealth
Oh,
from
that sucks.
Liliana.
That's not my d20. Where's my d20? Where'd d20 go? Hey. Well. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. False alarm. We're good. That is a 22. It'll be 16.
Okay. So, 22. Yeah, that's not going to see you. I'm just going to drag your token into this room for a second so that you can see, zoom in, see the token. Put you right in front of him.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I got it. Let me zoom in on this. What?
Inside, you see almost more mist than figure, but you are able to make out the glowing eyes and the very faint shape of something very much not human. Putting you back with Booker.
Oh. Well, I saw a very swole mist man.
A what?
A very swole mist man.
A swole mistman.
I'll use a minor illusion to show everyone.
Alright, if you're using minor illusion, I'm going to do this. If you turn your attention to the Discord.
That is in fact a very swole mist man. Sick art,
I
though.
wasn't lying. He's full. He's full of fuck.
Cool art, though.
It is really cool art.
It is.
Mhm.
Would Booker be able to identify it from the image? Secondhand?
He can try. This is going to be for anybody that wants to try and identify a nature.
Oh,
Nature.
I have good nature.
3, take it or leave it.
Dang it. 9.
14.
Okay. Fair. You can also try.
Oh.
He'll
Good job,
just roll
Nick.
invention, so it's just a 9.
Oh.
Does Koya also want to give it a shot? Going strong.
What was the highest roll?
The 14 from Liliana.
Nice.
So, Trixie. And what was Booker's?
He got a 9 total.
9. Okay. Trixie, you see it in. You don't know what it is, but you do know that it is. And you're. It's easy for you to logic out that it is likely an elemental of some sort. Especially given the mentions of mephits being on the skin of this creature. Liliana, you also figure from what you saw and just the vibe that it's giving off that it is an elemental of some sort, probably an air elemental. And though you don't remember very much, roll me a d6 really fast. See which portions of this you get.
A 5.
Okay. You don't remember what it's called. You do remember that this thing is considered extremely dangerous. And, in fact, its own eye line is considered dangerous. Being caught in its gaze, however, it's also. You're not sure why or how, but you remember it's also been called a coward. You're stuck trying to puzzle out where the different pieces are connecting each other.
Well, it's very scary, dangerous, and also kind of a scaredy cat.
How we feeling, team? Booker will give a quick look over the group. How are spirits? How's the vibe? Booker feels pretty primed and ready.
I'm ready to go.
Staff is out.
Arms are ready.
I know Koya did want to go. But just one more door. Real quick. In and out.
We're kind of locked in here for a while, Koya.
The glaive's coming out then.
Let's go.
Okay, so here's the plan.
Play it.
Booker's going to cast silence. Like the edge of it. Actually, wait, hold on.
Not again.
Can I even do that? Choose within range. Okay, so I want to create a little bubble of quiet so that the bubble is like here.
Mm-hmm.
So it disappeared on my screen, but I assume you can still see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
But
want to do that, you can.
okay. So Booker will turn to everyone and be like, "I'm like a little helping, a little helpful sphere, so that we can creep in on it. That way we're not fighting in the doorway." And he'll ready his dagger and throw up the little quiet bubble. And he'll just open the door.
Okay. So, pause you right here,
Mm-hmm.
checking on everybody as far as player-wise. Are y'all... Do y'all feel like you can do another combat before we are done, or do you want to tap it here and start with the combat next time?
Could we start with the combat next time? That's my vote.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, fine.
I will show this here. As you all open the door, I'll finish with a little bit of a exposition. As you open the door, you see that most of the room is filled with a silvery gray mist that trails along the floor. And towards the middle of it, you see it lifting into a vaguely humanoid shape. And it doesn't seem to be looking in your direction immediately, but you can see two large silvery eyes glowing through the mist, roughly where the head would be. And as the door opens and the mist starts to trail out into the hallway, all of you can hear just long, ragged inhale of a breath. And all of you feel a chill down your spine. And that's where we'll leave it.
Perfect.